Okay, as a woman who has survived childhood trauma, today you might be feeling a little lonely and isolated. Let's talk about what's really going on when you feel alone and isolated and what's the difference between the two. Want to talk about taking your healing outside the traditional therapy model? Let's talk. In one conversation, I can help you feel normal and sane again and give you a personalized healing plan. Just drop me a line below. Full disclosure, I am not a therapist, counselor, or psychologist. If you're a woman who is dealing with self harm, recent trauma, disordered eating, or some significant mental health challenges, it's best to utilize your local resources. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Contessa Aiken. I'm a former jet engine mechanic, currently an emotional well-being coach. For the last 15 years, I've coached women who have a history of childhood trauma to prioritize themselves, to heal their past, to calm their nervous system, and readjust to the truth of who they are. If you hear my doggos in the background, miss, they wanted to join us today. All right, today let's talk about what's going on when you feel lonely and isolated, what the difference is, and what you can do about it. Okay, at some point in our lives, we have all experienced the feelings of loneliness and isolation. These are just emotions, they're all natural, and they can all be triggered by various different circumstances. However, it's essential to understand the difference between feeling alone and being isolated, as well as the potential impact that childhood trauma has on our confidence and mental health that basically affects all of this, right? So, feeling alone is a subjective experience, which means it's an opinion. It's not the same for everybody. It is basically like being disconnected from others. It's a feeling that you can have even if you're surrounded by people or you're at a social function or in activities. On the other hand, isolation is objective, I mean, it's factual, meaning you can be you're physically separated from others as a result of some circumstances, such as living alone or working remotely or being away from family and friends for an extended period of time. So, while both loneliness and isolation can lead to emotional distress, their impact on your own mental health can be different. For instance, feeling loneliness can be a result of lack of self confidence and be an indicator of some underlying issues, where isolation primarily affects one's social skills and ability to form meaningful relationships. So, the role childhood trauma plays is really important to note here because childhood trauma, such as abuse and neglect, or witnessing violence can have a lasting impact on your mental health and overall well-being. And these kind of experiences can lead to feelings of loneliness and isolation, as well as a lack of confidence later in life. There's actually research that indicates individuals who have experienced childhood trauma are more likely to experience periods of loneliness and isolation. Now, childhood trauma can, make all of this worse and lead to self-imposed isolation as a coping mechanism. So, lack of confidence stemming from childhood trauma can hinder your own ability to form and maintain healthy relationships, which is kind of like creating this cycle of isolation and loneliness. So, the first place to go is to just get help. Reach out. I'm here, I'm available, I can help, and I'm willing to help. So just reach out. Just getting help can help contribute to your sense of connection and your overall mental well-being and provide you with a new perspective and guidance support that you are looking for. Building your confidence is key. Engaging in activities you enjoy and that you're good at helps to boost your self-esteem, which will help you not feel alone and isolated. You can practice self-talk, surround yourself with people who support you. You can, do the things that you like, go on a hike. Those are the things that can build your confidence. I love hiking. All right, cultivate relationships is the third thing you can do. And join a club, engage in social activities. Oftentimes, as survivors, we wait for people to reach out to us, but really it's our job to reach out to people to combat feelings of loneliness and isolation. The fourth thing, practice self care, prioritize yourself. And we're not talking about the kind of self care that is like, temporary, like go take a bath and get some sleep and, just make sure you're eating right and all those kind of things. We're talking about the deep, meaningful self care that is about processing your emotions, dealing with the trauma, moving on from the hurt and the pain and not holding on to that stuff anymore. And of course, I know you would love to get out of the traditional therapy model. So reach out, drop a line below. Take step number one here. Let's get you feeling some clarity and some peace right now and an individualized, personalized healing plan so you can start to move on with your life. All right. Yeah.